Hi, I'm Mark Edmonds, this is Ravemusic 90s, and tonight we've got an exclusive interview with none other than DJ Pilgrim, Paul Dawkes from Pandemonium, and DJ Melody. Boys, how you doing?
Good.
Well, yeah.
Good.
Yep.
So we're back together again?
Yeah, all back together.
All
Not
back
marriage,
together.
eh?
Yep.
And not marriage. Anyway,
many
you know,
years.
as we all know, and as all the ravers know, the 7th of November this year, Pandemonium at the Institute. Obviously it's going off, so boys, tell us about it, man.
The obviously first two DJs on the event, myself, Mark and Paul had a chat, and these two boys before deserve to be on. Both our residents, Paul and Jack, DJ Melody. So obvious choice really. Started back in the day for 1992, wasn't it? Jack, the first time we
Yep.
Paul was 90.
Yeah,
1991 at Cleo's in Wolverhampton, where Paul was from. Jack was the first one.
I started my residency at JJ's when you started there.
So a bit later, we played the other event for us. It used to be the JJ's then, wasn't it? Mr.
It
B
was
second time.
JJ's,
Yeah, when it first started out, it was JJ's, and then it changed name and became Mr. B's. But not many people would know that before JJ's, it was actually called Sinders, because I used to go there when it was like a teen scene. So it was like under 18s. So it was a class place.
Now
back
it's
then,
burned down.
and it still was when it went to
Sinders
JJ's.
again.
It's gone.
So how did you guys get about to, playing for Pandemonium? You know, did you hear back on a conversation that we had off camera? Did you send any demo tapes to Paul or anybody?
Oh yeah, I must admit I used to send quite a few out because I used to do it for the people I used to request, and it was from Paul as well. And to make mine stand out, what I used to do is I used to spray paint my tapes orange, luminous orange, so if there was a batch of like people's demo tapes there's a bright orange one. I'm hoping that they'd pick that one out first. So it must have worked because Paul listened to it at some point, so I actually got on.
So I did a sort of the orange tape, that was it. Well, Paul had been DJing for years then, so it wasn't our decision to be fair. And then obviously through the years, Paul's played for us for the last 20 years really.
Yeah. Melody, you?
Yep, got into it basically. We were doing work for Spectrum, graffiti artists. We used to do the banners and all that for them.
Yeah.
Went to Telford Ice Rink. Totally blew me away. I went with a friend in his MCC at the time. He worked for Pandemonium.
Yeah.
So I used to give him the demos to give to the lads. He'll have a word as well.
Oh, awesome.
Conrad, good lad.
Brilliant.
How is
yeah.
he?
He's good. He's really well.
You have to come up, you have to...
Now I'm trying to get him up.
Get him up in the mic.
You need to come up, son. And never look back. Got proper into it. We loved it.
We're just looking forward to the night now. It's moving on. There's a good buzz about it. Hopefully, well, the tickets are going really well. So everyone can have a good night.
And don't forget it's opening now at an earlier time of 9 o'clock and not 10 PM because the amount of tickets that are being sold. So
No, it should be a good night for all. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant. You can relive the glory days with us.
So anyway, boys, right, just getting back to these demo tapes, which I really like. really interesting. Right. How did you get in contact? What did you think when, that they're asking you to play at a massive promotion event like Pandemonium?
I must admit, I was chuffed a bit because the thing is, I've been to a couple of the Ice Arena parties and they were big parties as well. And you've got the likes of Sasha, Groove Rider, you've got some big names playing on them as well. So to be invited along to play at the club as well and then be a resident, be alongside those DJs as well, because I know that there was Quest as well and there was Pandemonium and there was this kind of, we'll go to Pandemonium on a Friday and Quest on a Saturday. So there were two big names that were like right on my doorstep for me. And I think it was the same with a lot of people as well in and around like the Wolverhampton and the Midlands area. It was like they were like the biggest, they were like the big promoters really in like that kind of area. So to be playing for them, it was good.
And now, like you say all that, now you're actually part of that history with Pandemonium. Same as you.
Yep.
Definitely Jack's been there for all the way through.
What was your feeling to be,
I was totally blown away. I mean, I had a residency at Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
which was like our thing at West, you had Coast to Coast, and I remember Paul coming down to listen to me there, and just come over afterwards, and said, "What will give you a shot?" And I was totally blown away after being to their events, sort of what you aspire to.
And 24 years down the line later,
Here we are,
you're back there again.
Back there again.
Same as Mr. Pilgrim.
with the mighty Pilgrim, just a bit older, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, a bit wiser, but
And I think the gentleman sitting in the middle, all his long blonde locks have gone now, like, you know what I mean? From some of the old videos that I've seen, like, you know,
Oh, yeah, you won't play
and his
boy
curtains, like, you know. and
that's
tonight,
one of them pictures from Donington, actually.
and tonight, guys, he's actually done his hair. Do you know what I mean? He's actually done his hair. He's got the spotlights on
Trying
his
to get
back
like
now.
this, you know.
Oh, you know what I mean, man? I've got a few years on you.
Paul, do you know when you turn up at a venue like this one coming up, Pandemonium, for example?
Yeah.
Do you decide how you're going to play it before you go, or do you turn up and see what's working and how the vibe is, or do you think to yourself, I'm going to go with the big bangers, the old faithfuls that you know are just going to work, or do you decide how do you do it personally?
To be honest, and it's the same everywhere I go, I just play it by ear. So when I go, I'll just look through my bag, and I've got all my selection with me of every tuner I've got. So I'll just go for one tune, I think, right, that's a good tune, I'm going to play that, and then I'll just go from there. So there's no plan at all. So I won't have like 20 tunes that I think, right, this is a Pandemonium night, I'm going to play this, this and this, and then when I get there, I think, right, that's it. It is going to be, first record goes on, I gauge the response from that, and then from there, it's just a case of just go with the flow. That's the same with every event as well. I'm not one of these people who has pre-planned sets, because with those, I think that if you've got a pre-planned set and it's going down like a lead balloon, what else are you going to know other than what you've already planned? So you're kind of screwed. Whereas if you just gauge it, that's what makes a good DJ. That you play a record, if you think, oh, that's not going down so well, you put on something else that you think, right, I know this is going to lift it back up. You've got to be able to work your crowd.
I mean, I think that is the only way to really do it. Personally, I mean, Mark and I's been to nearly every rave up and down the UK, and there are one or two. We can name every tune that they're going to play as soon as, you know, which is a shame, really. It's a bit of a shame, you know. But you're right in what you're saying, and one or two others have said the same, that they'll go and they'll have absolutely, they won't even think about it, they'll just turn up with the goodies. And
a lot of them will look at the vibe that the crowd's on at that time as well. You know, like, that's what you just said, to be honest, like, you know what I mean?
Same as, I mean, you can't really gauge anything until you're actually stood there in front of them. You take it from there, you start playing the music, and see what they're reacting to, and then go with that.
have you got a personal favourite genre of rave music, so to
I'd
speak?
say between 93, 95 is when it really come out, when jungle, you know, really come out, started taking on its own identity, you know, it was always a that's the sort of music that stands out the most.
What about you, Paul? Are you?
For me, I would say 92, 93, because I think that really was like the highlight of all the years where you had like a lot of the big promotions where they were regular, they were every weekend, and the music for me was kind of at its peak round about then. I think when you start getting to like 93, 94, it started to get branded. You had like the music started getting a bit darker or a bit happier. Then you had like kind of happy hardcore that come along. Then you had like kind of dark core, and it started to get categorised too much. And then that's where you start to get little splinter events where it starts to get watered down. And I think that kind of changed the scene a lot, because then you started to get events that would specialise in more with like the darker music that started to feature more early like jungle drum and bass, and then you had like your other events like fusion that were like catering more for the happier side. It just caused a bit of a split, whereas prior to that it was all featured in one
It was
night.
everything, yeah, and one set could contain a little bit of everything, couldn't it? Yeah.
And that as well as a DJ made you versatile, that you could cater for all sorts, that you could play like a track that was like quite uplifting, and then you could change it for the next track that was a bit more like kind of breakbeat, a bit more darker. But it's rare that you can get away with that nowadays, because tend to find that different areas of the country, I noticed that when I play down south more, they do like more like the breakbeat stuff, the more darker side of things. Whereas if you play up north, it's more harder, they like more uplifting stuff. It's just the way there's that divide, always has been, always will.
I used to go to Quadrant Park with films here.
Oh yeah.
Used to go up every month. Used to have absolutely great time. Good night. Used to go up Leeds and Manchester and where else.
Back to Pandemonium.
Right then, to all the Pandemonium crew out there, you guys are playing back to back. How did that come about?
Well, it's only fair really that with it being 25 years of Pandemonium that we do something special for the Pandemonium people who were there week in, week out, who know their stuff. So as it's going to be a big night, we're going to do something special for them.
Yeah, we're going to do something really special for you. We're not going to give away too much. On the night, come and join us.
Okay, so is it going to be half an hour each, or is it going to be 3 tunes each, or what?
I think we'll leave them guessing on that now.
But
I'll tell you everything, we'll tell you what we're going to be playing next.
it's going to be spectacular.
Right guys, we ask this, everybody we interview, we have to ask this question, and you've got to be very truthful, and there can only be one, and that's it, simple as that, there's got to be one. I'm going to start off with you, Melody, right? Who's your favourite DJ?
I would say Doc Scott.
Doc Scott.
Look at his face, Doc Scott.
Your choice, Mark.
For me, Doc Scott
Yeah.
made some fantastic music in the early 90s. He's been there since day one. Great bloke, plays fantastic music. He's took it further than you all expected from me.
Brilliant, excellent choice, excellent choice. I have to totally agree with that one because he's mine as well.
Hey!
Mr. Pilgrim, favourite DJ, only one.
I've got to narrow it down.
Everybody answer the
You can't do no narrowing down,
Okay.
it's just one.
It's one that stands out for me, and he's well known, and he's very underrated, and I know a lot of people do know him. For me, it's got to be the Ratty, because his mixing style's so unique. There was no one else out there, even to this day, that can replicate his style. The style of music, and even to this day now, he sticks to his models, that he doesn't anthem bash, he still mixes it up good for the crowd, so for me, it's got to be Ratty.
Excellent choice. So you've got over there from Melody, Doc Scott, and from Mr. Pilgrim himself, you've got DJ Ratty. Now for Pandemonium, you can get tickets here, along the bottom of the screen right now. And we're going to call it a day there, boys. So I'm Mark Edmonds, this is Rave Music 90s. Big thumbs up for the Rave Music 90s crew. Yay! Wicked, lads.
Blood clot, you only have one life to live. Step up, Red Dog.